Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckethead podcast. I am your host, Beta Wolf. It is just me today. Um, but I do want to get into a little bit of the technical stuff with you guys just here at the beginning. So basically, every week there will be an episode of the podcast. Every week, or at least for the foreseeable future, there will be an episode every week. Whether or not it'll come out at Monday, like the past two episodes, and probably this episode will depend on just how fast can I get it edited, or how fast can I get it recorded, and all that jazz. Because, life happens. Sometimes things do not go our way, but we got to deal with them anyway. So, that's how life is. Sometimes it's just difficult. But I do want to talk about, I shaved my head, if you guys haven't seen that video already. As of recording this, I have not gotten my shout out, but I am being patient because, he's an animator, and he's working on a whole show, along with YouTube shorts every single day, and streaming every Saturday. So I just want to kind of let him do his thing, so that way he can get his content to where it needs to be. And if I have to go on the back burner, that's whatever. That's fine. But I do want to talk about something that happened very recently. So apparently this woman, comedian, I cannot remember her name, but she apparently was making fun of Jesus Christ, and then right after that joke, she fell off the stage. And Christians are using this video as like a way to be like, don't make fun of Jesus. You should never make fun of Jesus. Yeah, but like, my question is, what about all the male comedians who have made fun of Jesus in like the past 40, 50 years? Because you could click on any Netflix comedy special and find at least one joke about Jesus, because it's funny. It's genuinely funny. So that's my question. Because like, did Gabriel just like come up to Jesus and be like, hey, somebody's making fun of you down there? And then Jesus was all like, oh, whatever. Usually it's a pretty funny joke anyway. And then Gabriel's just like, but this time it's a woman. And then Jesus is just like, hold my beer. Like, what happened? Like does Jesus not care when male people make fun of him? But the second a woman did, he was just like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. You're gonna trip. Like, people explaining that through religion is kind of funny to me, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. I am an atheist, and when people say, oh, you're an atheist, something must have horribly happened to you while you were at church or something. Nope. I grew up in church. I grew up in that sort of environment. But one day I kind of just woke up and was just like, huh, none of this makes any sense. None of this makes sense whatsoever. So yeah, I just kind of stopped. It's a bit weird though to think about, because like, you do like what you can every day, and then pretty much every Sunday you go and you learn all this stuff, and then one day you're just like, huh, I don't believe in that anymore. Because like, I was introduced to it as a kid, which I highly do not recommend you do that. Let them figure it out on their own. But like, I never got touched or anything. I had friends at church, but I didn't really hang out with them outside of church. like people were nice and stuff, and they would talk to me, and they would like genuinely be interested in what I had going on or whatever. But like, it's just the things that like it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Because I'm one of those people who thinks very rationally about pretty much everything. Like, I'm not like a science nerd or anything, but like if I can't understand something, then I can't believe in it, you know? Like, obviously, like if it's math or something, like that has scientific proof that backs that up, but like if the earth was flat, there's no evidence. You know, it would be much better for them to say it's the universe is flat. Because if you look at a zoomed out, like extremely zoomed out, like photo of, ooh, of of the Milky Way, it looks like a little flat frisbee disc. Like it looks like a DVD almost. So like I don't understand why they're like the Earth is flat. Well, no, but the universe technically is kind of flat. Like that makes more sense because it has scientific proof that backs it up. Like, oh yeah, by the way, it's just a little flat. The universe is very flat. Yeah, so that's what people could say is that because the Milky Way galaxy, when you zoom it out a lot, it kind of looks like a little china disc, like a little plate. Looks like a little frisbee golf disc. You fly around and stuff. Do cool things with that. Sorry that these past two episodes I've been by myself. I understand if you don't want to watch the video or listen to the videos of just me. I totally understand that. And if you want to wait, I think next week we will have some guests. We were supposed to have some guests or a guest for this episode, but just timing wasn't right, and we ended up having to postpone until the future, for this foreseeable future, because we don't know. He's got a lot going on right now. I don't want to like expose his business to you guys because that would be, you know, just not cool. But he has a lot of personal stuff going on right now, and he just couldn't do the podcast or any social media, to be completely honest, for the time being. So we're just going to just roll with it. If eventually he'll probably get on here, but until then, you got me, and hopefully you got WoW and Red Hood at some point. Maybe even Kennedy, if you guys want. Jesus. If you guys want Kennedy on the podcast, I think we could make it happen. I think that more or less the podcast has kind of just become my like place where I can just talk about whatever I want. It's become like my little, this is where I'm able to just do and say and chill out and do whatever I want, pretty much. And I'm enjoying that. And I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it too. So, thank you guys so much for being here. If you're still watching, you're a legend. Or if you're still listening, I should say, you're a legend. But it's been a long time since I actually sat down and recorded one of these, because I'm recording this on Monday, which means it'll either go out later today or probably tomorrow, because I've just been busy. And then we also had that cancellation thing that I was talking about earlier. So I had to figure out a way to, you know, do a podcast without him. And I also tried to get a WoW on this episode, but then something ended up happening with me. Then I couldn't record the podcast. And, you know, he's still in school. So, you know, he's at school today. He's doing school things, learning, putting all that knowledge in his brain hole. Putting all that knowledge in his brain hole, you know. He's getting big and strong, big wrinkle brain. Or at least hopefully he is. If he's not, then that's his problem. But I started playing South Park: The Fractured Butthole on my second channel. If you guys want to go check that out, I'm really enjoying the game so far. I haven't played a lot of it, but I have done, I think, 2 videos on it. And I'm actually just so pumped to get this underway. I'm also working on finishing Detroit Become Human. Those series are going to be happening around the same time. But I don't want to put too much on myself. I think I'm just going to leave it like that for right now and just let that sort of fizz in. And I know a lot of you guys are wondering, where's the Fortnite content? Where's the Fortnite funny moments stuff? It'll come back, I promise. Right now is not a good time, but it will come back, I promise. You guys are just going to have to deal with me playing Far Cry 3 for a little bit. And I do plan on finishing the game on my channel, but the episodes may or may not be like spaced out a lot. I don't know. The first 3 videos are doing very well. They're not getting a lot of views, but they are getting a lot of watch time, which is very good because watch time is around as important as views. You know, because you would have like 12,000 views on a video, but if people only watch 30 seconds of it, then what's the point, you know? It's pretty much useless. But I'm getting really good watch time on those videos. All 3 of them are getting pretty good watch time. And I'm really enjoying playing the game again after all this time. Because I played this game on the Xbox 360. Like, that's how long ago it was when I played this game. I played it on the Xbox 360. And now I'm playing it on a PS5. So if that has any inclination for how old I am, it is pretty old. Again, I was a little young to be playing this game at the time, but you know, you can't really do anything about that now. And this game is what made me fall in love with video games in general. Far Cry 3 is what gave me that like boost, not just in like video games, but in storytelling. Because the way that they tell the story in Far Cry 3 is just so crazy to me. Like, it's so different, and I don't think a single video game has been able to recreate that since. So, Far Cry 3 kind of the GOAT. For those of you who don't know, the gameplay works as a storytelling mechanic, pretty much. Like, when you're gunning down enemies and stuff, you're also affecting the story. Unlike in Uncharted 2, or the Uncharted franchise in general, or unlike Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, because Grand Theft Auto 5 is a good game, but when you're doing just normal free roam gameplay, you're running people over, you're shooting prostitutes, you're burning buildings, you're blowing up things that don't necessarily need to be blown up, you're driving like a maniac, you know. But in this game, it uses that sort of gameplay as its advantage into telling the story of how the main character sort of kind of becomes this insane monster, the very thing that he swore to destroy, you know. He's like Anakin in that aspect because he becomes the monster that he wanted to destroy in the first place. So it's kind of really cool because, you know, Voss, he's the villain, or he's like one of the villains, but by the time Voss dies in this game, Jason is so much more bloodthirsty than Voss ever was. Like, he's so much more like bloodthirsty and just crazy than Voss ever was and ever could have been. Which is saying a lot. Because Voss, everybody knows Voss is literally insane. He's mentally fucked. He's so fucked up. I have been spending, what am I saying? I went to go see Godzilla Minus One at the beginning of the week, and it was great. It was amazing. That movie was awesome. I'm not going to spoil anything, but that movie, we saw it in black and white. It was a 1 week run. It is in Japanese and has subtitles, but you get over them very, very quickly in this movie. But this movie felt like one of the original Godzilla movies. It felt like it was really inspired by them and really was just trying to make it was a very faithful movie to the originals. Is what I'll say. It was very faithful to the originals. And I appreciate that because those movies don't get enough love. Because those movies are really, really good. It's just they're really, really old. Jesus Christ, what's going on with my throat? Well, there's this whole boat scene. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's insane. It's genuinely insane. All the scenes where Godzilla is roaring, you could feel it in your gut in the movie theater. It was so loud. Like you could feel it in your bones. Because like we just went to see it in a movie theater, so we had all that like 3D surround system stuff going on with the big screen. I think there was maybe like 7 or 8 other people in there, but we didn't really notice because there was nobody in front of us, but there were people behind us. It was so good. Such a good film. And the black and white really made it feel like one of the originals. And one thing that a lot of people who all like know about Godzilla that don't know about Godzilla is a metaphor for the atomic bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like he is like the personification of the bomb. Like that is what Godzilla is, and that is what Godzilla was meant to be. And it's so horrible what we did to the Japanese. It's genuinely awful. Like I was talking about that with my mom the other day, and she kept trying to defend the U.S. military. Like, yeah, but they started it, and I'm like, yeah, but we literally killed millions of people. Like we literally killed hundreds of thousands of men, women, children, young and old, and for what? Nothing really. Like if we really wanted to make like a statement, we could have just killed their leader or something. Like why'd you have to go and kill so many innocent civilians? People who were just living their lives gone. Like it's horrible to think about. But that movie really made me want to go watch Oppenheimer, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm probably going to watch it once I'm done editing and doing all that with the podcast episode. But Oppenheimer talks about the same things. Because, Oppenheimer, he's the one who made the bombs in the first place. So I would really want to watch that because now I've seen something that's also about that, but taken in a different direction. And it's more from the Japanese perspective. Because like Godzilla's like rushing through Tokyo and just blowing everything up. And this is like the 1940s era. I think it's 47 and 48. So this is like right after World War II. So they're all coming back from war. And they're all like fucked up. And then Godzilla shows up. And then they kind of get like that PTSD sort of like, oh shit. And there's also this really good moment in the movie where they talk about death a lot, like the kamikaze pilots and the suicide bombers and stuff, and how that their attack on Godzilla would not sacrifice any lives at all, which I think is really cool to think about. Because like yeah, it is fucked up what the Japanese did to their own people during World War II. But like at the same time, like the Japanese obviously had their reasons, because I mean, we were in war and stuff. People were getting fucked up. It's genuinely awesome how they portray like that sort of time period in this movie, because like you see like these guys who had been to war and seen horrible things, and how they're just trying to survive every day. And then after the bomb, some of these men who come home from war, their families are gone. Like the people that were waiting for them, dead. Died in the explosion. And it's really fucked up to see, because like they're over here trying to survive in the war and finally get home, and then when they get home it's just nothing but rubble. Nothing but ash and rubble and fire. It's terrifying. That is a terrifying feeling. It's like you leave to go fight for your country and you come back and everyone that you ever knew, gone. Just dead. Without warning. I like talking about World War II a lot because I gush over World War II era vehicles so much. I gush over them. They're so freaking cool. Like they all look really good. Like people will say like old classic cars are great, and yeah, they are great. But like, have you ever seen a Willys Jeep decked out in full like armor and stuff? Because that is a mean looking vehicle. That is a mean looking motherfucker. Like that thing can take up like AK bullets and be fine. Like that thing can go like 90 miles per hour on grass. Like that's crazy to me. Oh, and they also had this plane in the movie, and it was gorgeous. You get to see it fly around and stuff, but when they revealed it, I was just like, oh my god, that fucking plane is gorgeous. I want to ride in that plane. I want to sit in that plane. It doesn't have to go in the air. I just want to sit in it. I just want to look at it. I just want to take her out for dinner and show her the nice light. You know. Put on my Axe body spray and grab my bear, because we're going to take her out to Outback. Outback Steakhouse. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm begun rambling. Welcome to ramble mode, I guess. Ramble or Rambo? Ramble. Ramble mode. Recently, I start everything with recently. So I have the top of the morning U2s that Jacksepticeye put out, but the logo on the coffee cup is wrong, because that's the old logo, and I'm a little disappointed, just a little bit. I still like him. He's really cool and I like him, but I kind of wish it was a sunny on the mug instead of the top of the morning logo. I also have the bags with the original logo on them, and I'm gonna keep those bags because they're probably gonna be worth something down the line. And if they aren't, I still have cool bags. I still have cool empty coffee bags, you know. Chicken Burger SMP started. All the Shorts Wars creators have gotten on Minecraft and started an SMP, which I think is dope. Because we really need another SMP right now, if I'm being honest. Because, like, the YouTube has just become this gross cesspool ever since the Dream SMP sort of ended. Like, people just started uploading React content a lot, and, you know, that's fine. Whatever, do whatever you gotta do to make money, but, you know, I think that as we evolve in the YouTube space, we start to lose our composure on what is right and what is wrong. Because like as we get more subscribers, I feel like we're just gonna start doing dumb things for views, you know. Which hopefully that won't happen to me if I do get a lot of subscribers. Hopefully that won't happen. But if it does, you guys can clip this particular part and just spam me, and then I'll get it. Just spam me, and I will understand. This episode of the podcast has been kind of weird. It's been kind of all over the place. Yet, let me say again, it was recorded last minute. So, hopefully you guys are enjoying this somewhat. I do realize that the podcast has been kind of lackluster because we started off with a very strong video, and then the second one came out and it was kind of just like meh. But we will be getting more cool shit in the podcast, I promise. We'll be doing more cool shit with the podcast. And I can't wait to like actually be able to like invite people on a lot, because that'll be fun. Or maybe even get a co-host. Co-host would be awesome. I mean, we'd have to figure it out, but if like I could get a co-host, that'd be dope. You know. But Godzilla Minus One was great. That lady comedian fell over. I don't know what else I've talked about. People who listen to the podcast, leave a comment. Tell me what I could change. Tell me what you want me to talk about. Let me know anything that you want, because that's why I'm here. You know, is to make sure that you guys have everything that you want and that you need. That's kind of the whole point of the podcast, really, is to be entertaining. So if it's not entertaining, let me know that, and we'll change everything up and revamp this bitch. We'll MTV Cribs this mofo, you know. I'm really getting into season 2 of Spy Family. I just finished, and it was really good. And it's all dubbed on Crunchyroll if you're one of those people. I don't think it is on Hulu yet, but if you want to watch it dubbed, it's on Crunchyroll. Season 2 was much better than Season 1. Like, Season 1 was great. I love Season 1. But Season 2 was like taking Season 1 to an 11. And I remember watching Season 1. I couldn't watch it for very long. Or I couldn't watch like episodes back to back to back, because I would just start thinking about like kids and stuff and being like, oh, I want to have kids. I want to start a family. So I would like stop watching. But with this season, I haven't had to do any of that. With Season 2, it's just been like non-stop action, non-stop. The filler episodes are really good. Like, the filler episodes don't even feel like filler episodes. Like, they feel great. Like, watching them feels like you're watching the actual story. So, like, the filler episodes are awesome. Well, anyways, guys, that is it for the episode of the podcast. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz. And make sure you go check out the podcast on Instagram, because, you know, we got that coming out on Instagram too. So, if you guys want to go check it out, there's obviously like a QR code at the beginning that you can scan and all that jazz. But make sure you go show us some love, and I'll catch you guys later. Next episode, I promise we'll have some guests. We'll figure it out and we'll get some guests on.